Antonia Bennett, is such a pleasure to have a chance to talk to you prior to Shining Star. Um, Give us a little background. When you were asked to do this program, what made you say yes?
Well, I mean, we all have older people in our life that have influenced us deeply, and uh, dementia, Alzheimer's. It's something that is touches everyone at some point, whether it's happening to them personally or whether it's happening to somebody that they love or know. And it just seems like it's time that people start really becoming more aware of the disease and the process and any opportunity also to support young artists is also so thrilling for me. So the combination of the both, it just seemed like a win-win.
The connection with your dad, I know it's been just over a year since his Radio City music hall performance with Lady Gaga. I'm assuming you were in the audience. What was that? What was that event like for you?
I mean, in a way, it was so surreal because um, he was such a strong, young, older man for such a long time. And obviously, I know how old he is, but he never seemed his age, and he always seemed so capable and um, was working all the time. And to hear that it would be his last show was definitely really um, bittersweet in a way, because I know how much he loves it too. Um, and also strange because he still sings so well, you know, that it just seemed like, okay, things have changed and it's a different chapter. But probably if he didn't have the Alzheimer's, he could have just kept going. He could have just kept going because he still sounds great. He still remembers a lot of the songs. He sings everything really wonderfully. And if it wasn't for the other ways in which his body has changed and just simple things like being able to get up and down steps and things like that, that um, he would probably have done it until his last days here on Earth.
When you found out relating neurologically how music impacts the brain, especially of someone with dementia and Alzheimer's,
Mm-hmm.
what did that mean to you? And when you saw your father performing, how did that translate when you knew what he was like off stage, if you will?
I think way before his any diagnosis that I knew about, um, I could see that anyway, um, because I had been opening a lot of his shows and touring with him and stuff. And I think that um, it was not so surprising because music is such a big part of our lives and in my family. And also, I've always been interested in music therapy, but just watching him uh, night after night come up and sing the songs and the way that he would just get so strong when he walked on stage. I mean, I even remember when I was a child and he would maybe not be feeling well and it was time to go on stage and it was a 360. So he was always kind of like that anyway. And then as his memory started to go, as we started to notice changes, um, he still was carrying on. And even though there were some subtle changes, maybe he would sing the same song twice in a row or something. But nobody minded either. That was the other thing. Everybody was so happy to see him. They just felt like it was a reprieve, um, and he, always delivered. And I think that that really stuck with me as far as if you do something that you love. And I mean, there's the part about the music and that part of the brain and how it really makes your brain work both right and left. Um, but and it's also the last thing to go. We know all of this, but um, on the other hand, it's also just to do it and the exercise of breathing before each phrase and all that breathing and oxygen and doing something that you love and having a passion for something. It's a very lucky thing to be able to have that because it keeps you going and it makes your job worthwhile and you're giving something to the audience and they're giving something back to you.
His performance also gave a lot of hope to people that um, just because your memory may be going, you can still get on stage and do what you need to do. What did you learn from him? What did you learn from this aspect of his life?
I think, he used to always say to me, never look behind, always look forward, And um, I think that my understanding of that has changed now. Maybe in the past, I felt that it was harder to do that. But I think what he was really trying to say is you got to live in the moment and make your life now. And as I get older, I also, I hope that I'm as lucky as him to be able to do what I love for as long as I possibly can. And to be honest, he's still doing it. I mean, he still has his piano player coming over to his house and working with him a few days a week and running the shows. He still has his routine, and I think that that's really the biggest thing that I've learned is that you have to kind of focus on the things that you can do and make time for the things that you love to do and do them because you have only this period of time and you never know when things are going to change. But even if they do change, there's always things that you can still do. And that's really been an amazing lesson for me. I mean, I hope that I am as lucky as him to be able to just keep going and keep doing the things that I love always.
This event, of course, not only is it a high school singing competition, and you will be quite impressed with the talent that you will
For
get a
sure.
chance to see, but it raises money for memory care. And one of the most important things it's raising money for is music therapy. From your perspective, how important would you say that is for keeping people being able to do what they can do?
In the brain, you can see if they scan the brain, you can see that music changes the dynamic. It releases endorphins immediately that make people feel better. And you can go to therapy for years, and not to put it down because a lot of people need therapy and it's a good tool to have and not have those kinds of instant healing effects. And music changes the dynamic immediately. Um, so I think it's the most important. I mean, I think it's one of the most important things one can do for themselves. I took a music cognition class that's all about how brain waves affect the human brain. And I don't know if I really don't know if I want to be I have a young child at home, so I don't really think I want to be a full-time student at this point, but I'm going to continue to just take a class here or there. And, if I get the bug, I might just go for it because I really find the subject so interesting and I believe in it. I believe in music therapy. I know how it's affected my life and how it's just even uh, my watching my father. Obviously, that's a testament to music therapy because I mean, that's basically been his therapy. It's kept him young for a very, very long time. But even in my own life, the way music has shaped my life, there's always something to do. There's always something to listen to hear. and the way that it makes me feel when I'm doing it. Um, so I'd like to learn more, and if I could potentially bring some of that to other people, I would love to do that.
Antonia Bennett, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Thank you.